Peace and welcome to Candelory, Oracle Stories by Candlelight. This is where I do an oracle and tarot card spread, and from my intuitive interpretation of the spread, I make a story. And I bring the story here for you. Now, I hope, it's entertaining, and if it is meant for you to, I hope you can find something here that, speaks to you, something that helps to bring you into better alignment. And, I will ask if you enjoy this story, if you enjoy it here, please, subscribe or leave a comment and just let me know. It's very encouraging for me to continue to share. This is something I love to do, and I'm going to do it anyway. And right now, I'm being led to share it. But yeah, it would just be nice to hear from you if you enjoy hearing the stories. But okay, so today's story, let's get into it. Um, Today's story is about Norton. Now, Norton, he had grand ideas of what his life should be like as a man, especially, as it pertained to his romantic partners. Norton saw himself as a god, and not the benevolent and loving type of God, but the controlling, demanding, jealous type of God. For his future, Norton saw himself in a polygamous relationship with 2 or 3 wives that he totally controlled. Wives that lived to serve and obey Norton, him, only him. He had these preconceived notions about women and their general role in relationships. These were notions, that really were from ideals of the past, situations where women had no real choice other than servitude to others. And Norton was trying to use these past ideals of women as he pursued his poly future. Now, Norton did understand that the past ideals for men included being financially able to support these women fully if he wanted complete obedience and servitude. Well, Norton did not have those resources. He also saw, he also felt like that women were incapable of being happy without a man. That's like what he felt. So, with those two things, Norton, he tried using his charms, his looks, his sex appeal, and mental acrobatics to manipulate women into poly relationships where everyone worked and supported the household together. But these women, they were not willing to give up their personal autonomy. This left Norton feeling very unsatisfied. It actually made him feel jealous and insecure when he couldn't control them. But that wasn't something he would ever admit to himself, much less anyone else. Now, after many failed attempts to manipulate and control women through sex and emotional abuse, Norton realized he needed to go about relationships in a different way. First, he was going to need to stabilize his finances because these past codependent relationships and poor financial choices had left his finances in a shambles. And while working on this, he decided to start online therapy so he could learn more about himself, deeper into his God power, and see why he always felt the need to have the attention of a woman. Norton needed that attention so much that he wanted more than one woman. So he would never have to run the risk of having no one and being alone. And why was Norton afraid to be alone? This was the first question he felt led to pose in therapy. Norton realized he would have to be teachable and open to changing his preconceived notions of himself, women, and how he should relate to women in order to have a healthy and fulfilling poly relationship. If a poly relationship was still his desire after learning more about himself, his true self, and not just the macho image that he always felt the need to portray. Now, oh, I don't know if every story I'm going to do a moral of the story or just, a takeaway. But I will say here for Norton's story, Norton is a product of his environment. If you go along your entire life and no one has said to you that the thing you are doing is wrong, right? Or the thing you are doing won't, benefit you in the long run, and you see everyone around you doing this thing, you continue to do it. And you just, when it messes up and you're in bad stuff with it, you blame, whoever else you're in the situation with, or you just say you haven't learned to do it good enough, right? So Norton was doing what he felt like he should do to fulfill his needs. Norton didn't understand that being alone, being able to be alone without another person, being able to sit and be with yourself for months, years on end, that is a God power, right? Not manipulation and control of other people. But Norton didn't understand that. No one had ever expressed that to him. No one had ever taught him the need for being alone. So all Norton knew was he could not take the risk on these fickle women. This is Norton's mind. He couldn't run that risk of just having one woman, because what if something happened? And then he would be all alone. And all alone was a place that Norton did not feel comfortable. So I understand Norton. No, I would never want to be that woman on the receiving end with Norton. But also at the same time, I commend Norton for understanding on whatever level it is, whether he's just trying to increase his God power or whatever, his openness to going to therapy and learning more about himself and the reasons behind his decisions. That was monumental. And hey, we're all human, right? We all got our things and the reasons we do our things. So I guess moral of the story, be open and teachable. No matter how wrong or bad or whatever society and people say you are, or even you feel you are yourself, you can always change. As long as you are alive, you can choose to do and act, behave, treat people differently. So that's our story for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. And again, take a moment and thumbs it up. Tell me, hey, I like that in the comments, or, go ahead and subscribe. Because if, I continue to be led, I will continue to share. Okay. Thank you so much. And as always, trust the divinity in you. Peace.